Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is part 2 of my summer prep. As you can see, my summer prep is going on in full swing. I started flooding this corner with plants. That guy's dead. Don't look at him. We're not looking at the table either because it's it's disgusting and it needs help. But yeah, I got my monstera back here. This time it's not the green one, it's my Tycon because it got that massive leaf and I want it to grow well. Also, I feel like it was starting to reach for light, and this spot right now gets a lot of light and maybe sun for an hour or so. So that's why I placed him there. I'm going to be moving a lot of plants in these empty spaces as well. Gloriosum's back on this side. It used to live on the other end of the balcony or the terrace. And as you can see, I've cut up a lot of leaves. Something that I'm doing right now to make my collection more manageable. This corner, for some reason, no matter how many plants I get rid of, it's always looking full. And I know it's a very pleasant problem to have, but it's a tad bit stressful because, especially when you're low on space. So some of my anthuriums have already started to get, they've already been stumped and taken indoors. I have plans to stump some of these guys today, and we'll be going through that and why do it, and just the whole idea around why I'm doing that. Maybe start moving some guys back here and just prep this section for summer. And I'm not afraid to do it because I know they're going to bounce back. Sad leaves and sad looking foliage doesn't mean the plant is dying, it just means that it's stressed a bit, and stumping them just gives them time to either force them into dormancy, or it gives me peace of mind knowing that it's not the plant that died back to a stump. I did it on purpose. So some of the plants that I have stumped are some of my alocasias. Some of my anthuriums that are pushing new leaves have got stumped and they've been taken indoors. And that's how I'm kind of tackling the whole stumping method, which is kind of, in a way, it's less stressful. And I know that the plant is moving, there's active growth on the plant, and it helps me track the plant's health better. So one of the guys that I've been wanting to stump is this AOS Dark Phoenix because it has started pushing out a new leaf, and I'm feeling rather confident when it comes to chopping it up because that new leaf needs to get acclimated to the indoor growing setup. So there is a new leaf right here, and I want this to, you see how long these petioles are? I need them to not do that. So we will be chopping this guy up today. So the idea behind chopping these guys up is, or the reason I wait for it to push out new growth is because then I know that the plant is actively growing and it's, there's movement, there's growth. That just makes, plus with the new leaf coming in, I just know that it will acclimate to the indoor growing setup as compared to the outdoor growing setup. So that way I don't have to worry about moving or maneuvering the leaves in a way that they would have to fit the shelf, because my shelf right now does not have space to house such massive plants. Like, a lot of these guys are no longer kids. Like, they're the age of being mamas and papas, and some of them have probably been a mama and papa at some point, just a failed attempt. But they've been parents, no doubt. Oh, that was actually painful. I was in two minds whether I should really go completely bald. Ugh, that was painful to do. But the first plant is done. Well, not the first plant, but this was my child, and that just felt weird, cutting up all of the leaves. The second plant we have is Poopy. I have some bitter feelings towards this plant. Ugh, it's full of water. This is probably the one plant I regret buying because it was the plant that I bought because I caved in to peer pressure. It's from a seller, like a apparently reputed Indian seller, and I wanted to support Indian breeders. I wanted to support, you know, the Indian community because we've got breeders from all over the world. And this is or it's supposed to be the parentage has a regal, a pap, and a dark block red crystal. And honestly, I only see pap in this. I do not see any other parentage. Now I have pap crystals. I have a pap crystal, crystal pap right here. Something veiny with a pap always, almost always, okay, almost always results in a thicker vein pattern. And this guy has 2 thick vein parents, and it has absolutely 0 veins. You cannot tell me that that's a hybrid. This one's a pap, and the worst part is absolutely no one wanted to get it. Absolutely no one. When the moment I told people what the cross is, they're like, "You're kidding! There's a pap, there's a regal, and a crystal, and you only see pap." That's what the breeder said, and that's what I'm telling you. It's a plant that I would want to get off my hands, but no one wants to take it off my hands. I guess we're stuck with each other, and this is another one that's coming in with me because it doesn't like too much light, and I kind of want to treat it better. It doesn't deserve to be treated badly just because of its owner. That is me. This is probably one plant that I've been wanting to stump for so long because look at that growth. Like, sir, ma'am, where are you going? This is my crystallinum, I call it the crystallinum watermelon. This is the one crystal that pushes out a red inflow. The other ones are green or white or yellow, I think. This one's red. It is a hybrid, I know, because the sinus doesn't have that dip that your crystals have. If it's a pap hybrid or mag hybrid, I know it has a bulging, it has like a little bead at the center, or it has a dip. This one is kind of flat. So yeah, but that growth, I cannot do anything with that. So I need to stump it, but it's a very slow crystal. It's a very, very slow crystal. I keep forgetting what this guy's name is. Dark Forgetii cross with Papyrus metallicum. It was pushing out a new leaf, but I waited too long to stump it. And then it already grew this leaf while it still had the other leaves. So I'll probably wait till it pushes out a next leaf, or if it starts throwing a fit. Yeah, this one is probably going to get stumped completely, but that will be toward the later half of summer because this one does very well outdoors, actually. I'm quite surprised. Hey guys, welcome to the next few days. I could not finish that project on that night because there was too much to be done and it was too late. We are getting it done today, and yeah, it is the daytime. I love that it's nice and quiet today, quiet-ish, minus the birds. But I have my mosquito stick because I'm going to be mosquito food today, and I have my Otamos. It doesn't work, but I like to tell myself it does. Okay, so the first one I want to get to is this Pap Mag that was attacked horribly by spider mites, but there's a new emergent, so I want to cut that off. Do I want to do this? Yep. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, that's her. This one is from Talking Shade. I don't I don't talk much about this one, ironically, since it's called Talking Shade, or the breeder is called Talking Shade. Wait, this one goes into the inside pile. Okay. Ooh. Do you? Yes. Okay, my Pap Red Vein has a new leaf. Okay, I feel like this setup is much more practical. This is my Pap Red Vein, and off she goes. Oopsie. That was a stunning leaf. But it's time for new things. New and pretty things. Oh my gosh, this one has spider mite damage. Ew. I am so glad I'm doing this. And I'm so glad this idea popped in my head because it's making life much more easy than I expected. I was stressing out for nothing. Okay, who's next? Ooh, I still have my tag, and it's oh gosh, it's got roots on it. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh, perfect. Name is completely covered. Maybe it's time I get rid of the tag, no? Yeah, maybe. Let's just throw it there. Okay, you're done. Who's next? Who is next? Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you something. I had put this on my stories whether I should repot or uppot my Forgetti Red Winged Dark Phoenix, or should I just leave it as is? And a lot of you said leave it as is. And I'm kind of glad I did because it completely bounced back and it's going inside too. So that's a great update. Oh, my Kuna's next. So since the last video, my Kuna pushed out this leaf. Can you believe it? Like, it's pretty big. I'm here for the ruffles. It definitely deserved that extra care, and I think I was just ignoring it completely because of how underwhelmed I was with the growth. But I think it's a good time to give it attention, especially since it's gonna be indoors. Quite cute. My Pap Kuna, now that I see it, my Pap Kuna does have the Kuna shape, except doesn't have the color. And I have to give credit to Talking Shade. He mentioned in one of his stories that Kunas are quite thirsty, and so I literally started just keeping this in a puddle of water. I don't let it dry out. I don't care if I see moisture on the top. I don't let it dry out ever. And I think immediately, I think after the last video, I watered it, and it just completely bounced back. And I was like, okay, perfect. Now my queen, I know I mentioned I was gonna take my queen indoors, but it's doing so well here. It's got its first inflow. That new leaf looks freaking massive. So that's tree sap, I think. Yep, tree sap again. So that's a pretty massive leaf, and I kind of want to see how it does outside. So I might just leave. I want to leave it here till I see this leaf throwing a fit. If it does, then immediately it's going inside. And plus my second, and I have 2 lights on my shelf right now. I've ordered my second and third one, so maybe I'll move this guy once they come or once they get delivered. But so far, she's doing pretty okay, and I'm pleasantly surprised. So she stays. Someone that's been doing quite big things is my crystal mini. That's the newest leaf. It's super big. Like I just call her. Let's just stick to mini because I think that just it just says that it was supposed to be a mini, but she's absolutely not so mini, and she's in desperate need of a repot. But I really don't want to. I don't want to think about that right now. If it's a one leafer, I'm more than okay. And but this one has history of getting bleached for some reason, like for no apparent reason. It just turns light green. Like this is still a floppy leaf. It's still expanding, but I have been treating it with something. It is my experiment plant, so I'm hoping that hardens off to a darker green. Like you can tell the difference in how dark or how not dark the sky is. Yeah, I think we can finally move on to the next set of chores, which is moving my monsteras. Okay, for now, I think we're done. I cannot bring any of my larger monsteras here because they are quite big, and along with the moss poles, they're not quite fitting in this space, and I don't want them to be too close to each other. So this is the final setup that we're gonna go for where the monsters are concerned. The new Tycon leaf is massive, but it's not as massive as I hoped it would be. Probably needs a repot. I am probably not gonna do it anytime soon because I don't want to stress myself out. Um, or I might, you know, I'm kind of loving how fast it's growing. That new leaf has almost hardened off, so I want to track how fast or slow it grows based off of when the next leaf starts coming in. So that way we can kind of, you know, estimate what's the average time between each leaf. So yeah, I think for me that's how I will be able to tell whether a monstera is fast or slow. I know the serrana is about 3 weeks between each leaf. I think this one is about 4 to 5. A healthy monstera I think should give you a leaf every 5 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to see how fast this one grows, and obviously the rest of the 13. So yeah, all right. So I think I've kind of almost dealt with most of these plants. These guys are going to stay outdoors till they start throwing a fit. So I'm quite happy with. Still looks full, doesn't look empty. It kind of baffles me though. But the rest of the section looks pretty good. This is my new favorite section now because it has this large monstera. It has my glorious. That one got eaten up by what I do not know. And what I got over here was I got my white monster, I got my yellow Maryland, I got my Aurea right in the center, and then I have my albo. I know I said I was going to chop it up, but I just haven't had the time. So I'm hoping that'll be a video of its own. Probably like a timeline video. I think that would be a fun video to do, like a timeline. I enjoy those so much. But I imagine it's going to be quite a task to do it. But we shall see. And then I also got my baby monsters, and the one that I stumped got a sad glorious that had a fall, and the top half just snapped off of it completely. So that one's recovering. The thing I hate about chopping gloriosums is the fact that the rest, not the top cut, but the rest of it just starts activating these nodes and they go crazy like how this guy did. These are not the same. This one's, I think, the dark form, and this one is the zebra. So it's getting pretty big. There's a new leaf right there, but it has so many shoots, and then it's just activating a brand new one there, probably because of the chop. So that's the most annoying thing, and it's in a gigantic pot. It's in an extra large pot, and it's always been a pot full of gloriosums. I actually enjoy it, but it's recently coming out of its battle with spider mites. So I'm excited for this to grow in the summers. I know it doesn't like heat as well. You can see the bleaching already because it got some sun, as you know, the direction of the sun was changing. So I had to get it back here. This has always been its spot. For some reason, it's loved this spot. It's done great in this spot. So he will continue to live here. And should this guy activate those 1010 million nodes, then it's going to be another pot full of gloriosum dark form. So yeah, I think that brings my summer prep to an end. It's obviously an ongoing project. It's not going to be fully complete till the actual heat is here, where the nights are hot as well as the days. For now, the nights are pretty cool, and I don't mind leaving some of these guys outside. So especially, I know it's time to take majority of these guys in is when the queen starts acting up. So for now, all of these guys will live here, and I'm enjoying the setup. That concludes my summer prep. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.